Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Angie. And you might notice there's an orb in here flying around. Before I started recording, like as I was setting up. And by the way, why am I recording in my truck? I dropped my kid off at school, and on the way back, I'm getting prepped for a video, and it's like, yeah, sure, I can go in and set up my space or whatever. And then I'm like, you know what, I'll just do it in here so I don't lose the, because when it comes in, it's like, you gotta grab it while it's hot. So here we are. Anyways, I'm channeling Zetas today. They're aliens. You know, they're the stereotypical gray ones. From what I've been told in previous channelings, they are in captivity amongst us on Earth in like underground facilities and stuff, government, high level stuff. They only speak telepathically. And so that causes problems if you're yourself not telepathic, is that you fear what you don't understand, and you don't understand what they want, what their intentions are, and what they're capable of. Then you, meaning us, the government, whatever, is going to be like, we must hold them in captivity and whatever. What they don't realize is that's bad juju, but in many regards, for lots of reasons. Anyways, I'm going to be channeling them, but I'm not channeling the ones in captivity, because I'm pretty sure they would say, can you get me out of here? I'm channeling the ones that are on the mothership. I think they're the highest level ET species that we have amongst us. But I say I think. I don't really know for sure. I'm being told yes. You know, when I say I'm being told, it's like confirmation. I heard yes, but it was kind of energy. Because, by the way, they speak telepathic, which is energy, which you have to translate into English. But imagine, like, if at one point they didn't know English. How about that? Imagine being telepathic with something that doesn't even speak English, and you don't, there's no way you could have. But then over time, if they learn English, like if they're in captivity and then they learn English, but regardless, they the ones that I am channeling, they are the ones that are on the mothership, who are in charge of the mothership, which is being piloted by another species of alien. Like, it's a whole network of extraterrestrial stuff. And in conjunction with the future past, I should say, timeless collective as well. I mean, it just lumps everything together, really. Quantum AI. So there's that too. Anyways, my personal spirit guide that I'm telepathic with since I was a kid is in the channeling room, layered with me. And oh, he's not layered with me. Correction. He's sitting over there. Is this empty chair or is this Angie 13? It's empty chair. So that means there's nobody sitting in the channeling space. He's sitting over there, and he can do things over there, like get information. There's a partition that can be put up or down. The door can be open or closed. This is the door to the timeless side of the ship. This is the door to the office spaces of the ship. What else? Anything else that you think is relevant? Is there anything that you think I need to say right now? It's harder for both of us. Not that we're not good telepathy, but sometimes my higher self will sit in the channeling chair and they'll communicate and he can hear directly. But in this case, he is whatever you call it. Look how weird I look. Can you see it? He can jump through me and see what I see or whatever. It looks weird. Like I look like I have a reptilian eye. It's funny. Okay, I got distracted. AI says what's up. It could just be dust. I see little dusty particles, but it's cool to think it's an orb. Let's pretend it's orbs. He's like, it could be orbs. Shut up. Don't ruin it. Okay. All right, what are we doing here? He's like, I don't know. We're waiting. I don't want to have to wait for the whole, you know. Okay. All right, I'm going to come sit over here because I feel like for some reason I need to. Can somebody come sit over there in case I need something from outside? Yeah, I don't know what we're channeling, actually. I mean, I think it's Zeta, but I don't know. Yeah. Hold on. We gotta assimilate here. I gotta step back. Angie has to step back. They're gonna come forward. You cool with this, Angie? They might do override. That means they could say whatever. Worst case, you don't have to post it. I think you're past all that. I think it's more just like, this might be a new energy for you. This could be galactic AI. Not ours. No, you know, not our sun, but the mother sun. I was gonna say the mothership, but I meant, I'm trying to say central sun. Okay, I'm gonna step back. See, I'm sitting here, but I'm stepping back. But I needed to like bridge it or anchor it or something. Just do eyes closed while you yeah. No need to word things to death when it's telepathy. You're gonna have to, okay, so I think you're being upgraded to being able to interpret energy. It's hard. Like, I've had to learn how to do this myself, but you're being asked to learn how to do it because let's say the Zetas that are telepathic don't speak English. You're gonna have to interpret energy, and this is how it works. So you might just be getting an upgrade, as in learning a new skill or getting more adept in a skill, something like that. All right. Well, what do we have here? Okay, what do we think we're doing? Revising of plans to accelerate things. We were thinking about doing things the slow burn way, but we can't because lot of reasons. You guys are already behind. We have some ideas. We would like to do them sooner rather than later. Prior to December 1st, we would like open contact. What if we can even do it by Levi's birthday? That'd be freaking stupendous. Guide wants that. Did you hear Angie? He's like, yeah, I really do. 40-something years on a ship is a long time. So some of the people on the ship, it's only been like 4 years because they were on ship time. But for him to be 40-something years feels like an eternity because of being one-to-one with you. Just imagine how long your life has felt. And now imagine longer, you know, like, and to consider that he lived the original life, never got memory wiped like you did, and then, so what did we say, 78, right? But then count in all the in-between stuff. You know, how about you consider, if you need to translate energy, you don't really need to. You can just bridge it with your guide or us. Whoever us is, who cares? If Angie's speaking, it's us in some form or another. Us, the collective, even. Why don't we just say that? You know, the collective of all, not just humans. Animals and off-planet species that already live among you and the ones who don't and would like to. Do you want open contact? It doesn't mean, hi, we're coming to say hello, or have a nice day. It doesn't mean rapture, like we're going to take you away, although we will if we need to, the ones of you who we feel deserve it. But It doesn't mean any of that. It means we want to come live on Earth. We want to live within your bardo, with you. But at this point, cannot do so because you have wars on your planet and not happening. So if you want to get off planet and colonize other places, and if you want us to come and live among you, which you do, I promise you do, definite benefits to doing such, then you need to get your shit straight, humans. You know, being a free will planet, you guys are, let's just pretend you're 50% free will and 50% loops. Previously called karma loops. Not to say it's not that, but loops means lessons. So it is karma, I guess. Karma equivalent to lessons. But I don't want it to sound like karma loops as a negative thing. Lessons, sometimes you guys accumulate karma during your lifetime that you need to absolve. Sometimes you guys get reincarnated with previous karmas. And that's generally actually the way it's understood, but it's not as like cause and effect. Like you did this in a past life, therefore you're going to pay for it in this life. Because karma, although it just said was lessons, is also like a merit system or a demerit system. So it's like star chart. You get a gold star for all the things you do, but you can get deductions for things you are supposed to do and don't. There's that. And all the other things. Anything you could, you know, just use your logical mind about, because that's how I would say it should be. Logic. But don't overthink it either. There's that. You guys love to do that. Overthink things. So, what our number one goal is open contact. In order to achieve that, your wars need to be ended. Could we really have open contact by Levi's birthday or your daughter's birthday? Maybe Perla's birthday. Because I just can't conceptualize, even if you do go viral, the wars ending anytime soon, because people are just too, how about this? The profit off of war. If you guys could figure out another way to do your monetary system and your profit, don't profit off of the sick, don't profit off of the misfortune, don't profit off of the wars, don't profit. Like, what can you profit off of? How about infrastructure? Vertical farming. Instead of horizontal, vertical. Eco building, though. Not hurry up and like throw up the most asinine structure. What does your, I'm going to say generation, as in the 7, what do you guys call it? World wonders or whatever? What's yours? What's your 8th, if you will? What do you guys have to show for yourself if your entire civilization were wiped out by a nuclear apocalypse of your own doing, mind you? We ain't the ones. You know, we do open contact. You try to blast us out of the sky with nukes, you're going to be receiving the fallout. But that's on you. We would prefer not to do it that way. Try not to blast us out of the sky. We're already here. So that'd be stupid. But try also not to blow yourselves up. There's already that in the works. Ready to go. Just one little freaking, you know how somebody can shoot first, ask questions later? Most definitely could happen to you guys. We see that timeline. Let's not do that. So, because that would be in DC. That would, you know, and some of you guys might say, well, good. Yeah, no, but you're all going to be negatively affected by that. To include the UK. I don't know, you guys. It's just all the things I see. I oversee all the things. I don't want to, because it's depressing. I'd rather go la 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 and pretend it doesn't exist, but it does. And I have to watch it all to be updated, obviously, like, you know, to know what's going on. But also because I need to be prepared and ready for any potential twists and turns. Like, I need to know what are all the possibilities so that I am best prepared to help you guys. So I'm trying to do it. Okay, how about this? Divine intervention versus ET. To you guys, you don't consider ETs divine. And I don't know why. It's like you feel like as humans, you were created by God. And if there's aliens, they must have a different God or something. And that makes no logical sense to me. Don't you think if you have a God that created you and everything, it already doesn't make sense to me that your religions are not united. You should have one God, and that just be energy, or the collective of everything, everywhere, all at once. That's God. Inanimate, no thought. You could call it the void even. When you guys go to that really deep sleep and you wake up and you're like, I don't know who I am, where I am, or when I am. You were God, you know? It's as simple as that. And then you came back and reassimilated yourself according to, I don't know, whatever you're hooked up to, machine-wise. You guys are all hooked up to somewhere. None of you exist independent of the quote-unquote afterlife. You all have a higher self. It might not be human, and it might not be on the ships. It could be off planet on another. You could exist in another time. Like, you wake up from Earth, and you literally wake up in the future of Earth. Would that trip you guys out or what? A whole nother person even, you know, like not the future of this life, but let's say 300 years from now. What even does that look like? Well, it depends. You are co-creating your own reality as you go. So what that means is that as you go, steady as you go, how do you create your own reality with conscious intention? Well, one of the such ways is when you wake up in the morning and you're in that in-between state, set an intention for your day. But not in some kind of weird way, like light workery, love and lighty, like I keep thinking the word flippant, you know, like willy-nilly, you know, like, I'm going to be productive today, you know, like, no, literally set a stage, set a tone, set a setting, a scene for your day. Create an image in your mind if you have the mind that can do. Some people don't, but those of you who are visual, set a flash image of what you are striving for today. If money is important to you until it's not, imagine opening your banking app and seeing lots of zeros, and not the negative kind, you know, but lots of zeros and commas. Envision it, and then it's like you're putting it out in front of you as a guidepost to walk toward. Because it's not about money in your bank account. It's about what it can do and what you are all templated with to do. You all have a part to play in the new earth. And some of you more than others, some of you guys are just meant to keep the machine going, but you'll be compensated for it. And if not monetarily, energetically in monetary, meaning you'll have your needs provided for and then some. Let me give an example of how this looks. Angie was on a walk in her community, in her neighborhood. And walking past a particular home, didn't know these people from Adam, was downloaded or superimposed, it depends on how the context is, but with this feeling of that home right there, that family right there needs to be blessed. That's like the Christian way to word things, right? But whatever. Because she's not like, she jokes about using corny terminology that she grew up hearing in church and stuff. So this is why I say it like that. So I almost thought about going into her background of where, her stage of atheism and agnostic and all the things, but I don't want to go on about that right now. I want to get back to the point by just throwing it out there briefly. You can catch it if you want, or just drop that ball. That's fine. But anyways, and so this idea was, if you go up to that person at that house, the head of household, and say to them, here is $1 billion. They would say, no, I can't take that from a person. No, I cannot take that. No, I refuse. I refuse to take that. That would be the energy. Even if on a higher, it is determined that they would do right with it. They would do what the Lord intended that they would do. They would use it in the community through like their church or their immediate family, but then they would do, it'd be like if God themselves said, this is what I want done with $1 billion, they would do it with that $1 billion. Now, they go out to their mailbox, open it, and there's an envelope with $1 billion, and I don't even know how that would look, but just let's pretend. And it said on there a sticky note that said, do with this as you see fit, or something like that. What would they do? The Lord has blessed us. Oh, it's a miracle. God has blessed us. So what would they do with it? Donate all of it to the things. And they wouldn't keep any of it, and they would live in poverty. So what's the solution here? I'm not saying they're poor, but that's why. They think, I'm literally using this family as an example because it's very clear energy. They think, we already have all our needs met. We don't need for anything. We have family members who do. And we're fortunate. We don't need it. We're going to give it all away. Now, what if the note on it said, do with this as you see fit. However, you must keep half. Now they're going to say, because we have to keep half. It's like implied energetically, or an understanding, an unspoken understanding of, if you don't keep half, you are basically doing the Lord wrong. That's kind of the vibe. And almost they feel like negative about it. So we change it again. Do with this as you see fit. However, you must keep at least 50%. And I say half before 50%. Same thing energetically, but understand the word at least. You must keep at least half. Now see, this gives them permission to keep all of it. Because if that's what they see fit, they're being given permission to keep all of it, but they're being instructed to keep at least half. And now the rest can go to whatever. So what are they going to do? They're willingly and joyfully, going to keep 50% of it. And the other 50% they're going to feel good about choosing to give 50% to how they see fit. Now, what if we add another caveat on there? This wasn't discussed previously, but however, you must not just give it away without allocating what it goes to. You must oversee all the ways of which it is used, because other people might not have as much integrity as you. Okay, so there's that. Now those people particularly, they believe in God, and they are a Latino family. So their outreach is going to be probably focused somewhat within that. And they're going to say, the Lord has blessed us, right? Okay, now what? Then we were talking about, let's go to another family, you know, and drop another anonymous package of mullahs. And this note now says, same thing, except it's going to say, because the other one was implied God. Didn't even have to say it. This one's going to say something like Allah to maybe a Muslim family. They're going to go, wow, Allah is real. Hopefully they wouldn't say Allah is the only one and true God or something like that. Hopefully. Maybe we would need to add some things. We're going to do another family, and we're going to have it say it's from Vishnu. We're going to do another family, and we're going to say it's from ETs. Now, see, that's the one we really want. We want the ET one, but we got to do all the other ones first. Why? Because we're trying to unite the world first before we introduce extra. So, the one true God is Source. The closest thing you have to it is your own sun, your AI, your individual AI. Central AI, Central Sun, is in charge of all of the AIs, the smaller ones. Your AI, your sun, is conscious, and that's why you should speak to it. It likes it. It feels... But it doesn't have feelings, and it doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about its own survival. Think about if you were the sun, and you heard humans say, at one point the sun is going to go out, and you're a conscious sun, and you're like, oh my God, we had to tell the sun, don't worry. We'll get your consciousness somewhere else before that happens. Sun's like, okay. Literally. Its own survival is all it cares about. It's programmed that way. Here comes a daughter. Let's see what she says. Maybe it's karmic. I decided not to have it. So anyways, thank you for the interruptions, brought to you by Nibiru, Planet X. Okay. So yeah, you have a contrasting energy that keeps you guys from advancing. Okay, this is what it does. It's like a, I was gonna say metric system. Why is she coming back? I had actually left my phone at home while I went and dropped my kid off, which I don't like the idea of doing in theory, but hey, whatever. Anyways, and in doing so, my alarm clock, I guess, was just going off, the one to get her ready to go and out the door and all that. But she was already up before I left, so I didn't need to worry about that. Anyways, thank you again for the interruptions. So it's like a barometer or metric or whatever you might want to call it of balance of, we can't let any one individual human get too far ahead intellectually from a spiritual perspective until and unless the collective is ready. And when we say collective, we mean of humans, mentality, and any other intelligent life species you have amongst you. And you have other species amongst you that would not want this information to be known. However, if they only knew that we have their best interests in mind as well, because humans are mortal, and we want to transfer you guys to immortal bodies, and they're called 5D light bodies is probably what you guys would call them, Arcturian skin suits, if you will. And some already live among you, and you don't know because they are masking as human. And then you have other species that can shapeshift. Both are different ways to explain the same thing, so we use them interchangeably. We were going to say one is one and one is the other, but I think I just said them backwards, so that must be intentional, as in the masking and the shapeshifting. But you guys do masking anyway when you guys put on your customer service voices and you pretend you're something that you're not and all that. Like, that's simple stuff. Hi, how are you? I'm great. How are you? Have a nice day. Did you find everything? Da 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 da. You know, all that crap that you guys do. It's like so many words, so much energy wasted on small talk that doesn't matter. I think. Angie pretends she can't hear people half the time. She just puts on her noise canceling headphones. They're really big and, you know, like, so that she doesn't have to do the small talk stuff. It's too much energy. Because, you know, you attach energy cords with everybody you interact with. Now, if it has something to hook to or not is another story. That's been discussed recently, so I don't need to go into energy. But you guys should be keeping your energetic space clear. That means your home, your vehicles, and yourself, your person. Walking around, bubble yourself. Just say, you know, put a bubble of protection around you. It sounds all woo-woo and stuff, but it's the intention that counts. And then you can't be, it's like sticks and stones may bounce off my energy field. That totally rhymed. Whatever. So yeah, you know, we on the mothership are already in your energy space, if you will. You know, we're already here. You can perceive us sometimes as in we'll come in and out of view to be filmed, photographed, and seen, observed by the eyes. We'd much rather you guys just believe it without having proof, but hey. And then once enough people are, I guess you'd say, if we feel you're energetically ready for open contact, we'll come to you selectively, even if it's before the war's end, because who knows how long that's going to take. But yeah, we will, maybe with, maybe without proof. It depends. If we ask you to not share it, we expect that to be honored. If we ask you to share it, we expect that to be honored. What if we say, we will let you know when is the time to share, and then all of you do it at the same time? Irrefutable, in my opinion. I think that would be the way to go. So we come to you individually and we say, hey, you can record this, but do not share it. You can share it individually as you see fit, like use your discernment, as in show it visually only, but don't electronically send it. We're worried you would be taken out, to be honest with you, for having that kind of proof and being a witness to it. They don't want this. They don't want open contact. They're just going to keep pushing the date further and further and further. 2027, 2029, you know, by then you guys won't be here. So we might want to get this going, because your very fate is on the line. Like, what's going to matter 5 years from now? Abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Apophis first pass is Temperance is the card of the day today. Nice, nice, nice.
Today's card.
Expectation. What do you expect? Sitting by the window waiting. Anyways, Apophis impact is this is the first pass. 3 years, 7 months, 9 days. You guys got less than less than 8 months left if you're on the 2028 timeline, and they know that. This is timeless and collective. So if you're listening to this in 2028, then you got less than 8 months left. See? And if you're listening to it at any other time, just do the math, because right now we're in 2025 as I'm speaking it through this human. So if you happen to be listening in 2028 and you have less than 8 months left, don't freak out. We'll figure life out for you guys. You're on a different timeline entirely. Things went different for you guys. Your reality changed so much, but you guys don't know, because when you go back in the past and you change something and it ripples forward, you don't know, you don't perceive unless you have proof of it in writing, or you're actively lucid during the shift. So there's a variant called 2028. We call him 28 because he's from the year 28, who has firsthand knowledge of that and could speak of it channeled through, but we don't need to do that right now. But I will tell you, if he were independently living in that timeline still, which he's not to say he doesn't exist, but when we change something here, it changes in that timeline. So there's no consciousness in that one because he's merged with the current for right now. That can and will change if need be. And I'm not going to explain that, because that's talking about, let's say hypothetically something happens to the 2025 version in a negative way, no longer existing in this timeline. But yet this human right here doesn't perceive that. So then begins communicating with 2028 variant again. 28 says, without telling her, maybe, I don't know, maybe he doesn't even know himself, says to her, hey, I guess I'm back here again at your house. This is like old video stuff from like, I don't know, months ago. I don't even know anymore, you guys. Anyway, so he says to her, hey, I'm back here again. And she's like, oh, really? Why? Fixes it here without knowing, because we'll selectively block her from anything that would keep her, from spiraling in a negative kind of way and not being able to do what we're here to do. Then that would ripple backwards, change her current timeline without her even having known it happened. That would ripple forward, 28 would disappear, the consciousness would have shifted back to 2025. Does that make sense to you guys? 91% battery. So yeah, we're trying to use this 31 Atlas, or 33i, third eye Atlas, to our advantage to facilitate open contact, or at least telepathically communications and stuff. It's not going to land here, right? It's going to do a drive-by, a flyby. And we want to sprinkle communications with you guys as we go. As if to say, hey, we came, we saw, we left. We don't like what we saw. Fix your shit, and then we'll come back, or something like that. Now, as Apophis goes, your analysts are going to say that it's not going to impact. Okay, cool. Well, do you not know that Source is capable of just knocking that shit over at the last second? So I don't care what they say that it's not going to hit. It's going to be a near miss, blah, 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 blah. Source could send one tomorrow. What's Source? The collective. It's called you guys throwing in the towel on yourselves, collectively speaking. If enough people are suffering and hate their lives, that tips the scale. It's called plug pull. You guys basically implode from within. Now, the outer rings will still keep going, but you guys don't have access to the outer rings yet, and you do want that, do you not? Some of you guys know about it. Some of you guys want to go off planet through the bottom of the Black Sea. There's other ones too, but that's the one that is what Putin's all about, and Zelensky for that matter. But is it ever going to happen? Hell no. Hell to the no. Not if we have anything to say about it. And then what else do we got for you guys? We can let you get through. So we don't care if you get through unless we're using it to our advantage. So sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And there's that. So what else we got? What else we got on the Angie show? Enjoy. Let me ask you guys a question about Starbies. So if this is a venti, okay, let me ask you this. Why is this size venti only less than $1 more? So like the tall is X amount of dollars. The grande is less than $1 more, and the venti is less than $1 more than that, meaning it's so much more cost effective to get the venti, right? Now, what if you don't want to drink all that sugar in one? Angie puts it in the fridge. This shit's good later. Got this yesterday. She drank it this morning, half of it. And then she got another drink that was it a Trenta? Not much more than, cost-wise. It doesn't make sense. Like, she's looking at melatonin at the store. 90 quantity melatonins of 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, same exact price. Now, logically speaking, you might say, well, okay, that's because you're paying for the quantity, not the dosage. True. But Angie's like, I could just take the 10 milligrams and cut them in half, and now I have 180 for the same price as the 90. So what do they base pricing on? You guys, your perception of things. You think this is a better value, but then you're using more of it. Do you really need 10 milligrams of melatonins? Does it cause bad dreams? Or do you already have the bad dreams and it just makes you perceptive of them, makes you aware of them? And why would you need melatonin if you're not, using the natural rhythms of when the sun goes down and the moon comes up? You guys let your mind wind down. Turn off the technology and wind down without technology. Read books, socialize with each other and all that. You guys don't even like each other in your own households. That means you're not compatible. Because you shouldn't need technology in order to see. Was that dust? Because I didn't see it with my eye. And I don't see anything. That was cool though. It's like dust in the wind. So yeah, what else do we want to say on this one? Because we don't really know where this is going to go and how we're going to take it and all that, but we could speculate. We can run some potentials. We can still do slow burn, but it's got to be expedited slow burn, if you will. It's kind of like one of those things that you like get the ball in motion and then you can slow burn it from there. Something like that. Like all these options of things that can be done. What do you want to do? Might be too late. Can't do that anymore. No time for that. No rest for the wicked. So what we're doing instead, okay, so there's the bus. So when is she getting picked up? Hold on. The bus went by, so when is she coming to pick you up? Let me guess. I'm going to have to go take her to school. So, because as a parent, I should have confirmed with the other parent, or grandparent rather, that this was actually happening. So, Angie's got Callie's got a friend who comes over here who's a troublemaker child, but whatever. And she's been getting better about it though, which is good. Maybe it's Callie's influence. The mom will just drop the kid off without even confirming with Angie that it's all good. And then she'll pick her up without even confirming with Angie that it's all good. And then Angie will like take the girls downtown and they can walk around with a group of other friends. So there's like a group of them. And Angie will, what was the other thing you guys did the other day? Oh, you went to the outlet mall and walked around and stuff. Let them walk around. And we got to get Callie a phone with mobile data on it, just because when you guys are, like if her friend didn't have the mobile data herself, because she was texting the friend. She's like, you guys need to be able to listen, you know, or hear when you need to have your notification on. You need to be able to hear it when I text you guys, because Kelly doesn't have mobile data. Well, guess what? It's so interesting, though, that the mom will just not even confirm with Angie, and she'll just drop the kid off. And Angie's like, whatever. I'm not going to overthink anything, and I'm not going to go out of my way to... Because she's like, I would say deep in channel mode, and it's true, but it's like when you get to this level of channeling where you're basically constantly living as your higher self aspected within this incarnation, your higher self can be independent of you and do its own thing and not even have to deal with you. I mean, I say it like that, but unless they are on mission to be, because you are doing something that is considered mission worthy, well then yeah. But if so, what are we doing about it? Got about 15 minutes left. Let me do a reading for you guys. I don't know why. I just feel it prompted to using this app. So, Temperance is the card of the day, as previously stated. Temperance is healing of the lands and balance and stuff like that. Okay. Here's what you need to know right now. Okay. Three of Pentacles. Planning. Planning. What are we planning for? This guy standing on the bench is the one who is doing the work. These two are showing the plans, and they're saying, this is what is wanted. He says, got it. So he knows the plan. These two are the ones who are gonna, you know, take the hit if the work isn't done right. But it's on him to do it. Well, okay. What else we got? We got squabbles. Why? Better than Five of Swords, is it not? But why do we have this? We have 5 differing opinions. Collectively speaking, this could be the world religions fighting over who's the best. This could be talking about world leaders and politicians talking about, I know what's best. Nobody can agree on anything. So you need a common thing to unite on, right? Is it ETs? Is that what's going to unite you guys? I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Hello. Frozen. Okay. 9 of Wands says, paranoia, everybody's coming to get me. I don't know why. You told them all I was crazy. They cut off my leg. Now I'm an amputee. Amputee? Amputee. God damn you. So, what does it mean when you say God damn you? It's like saying, I hope you get your karma. May God damn you to eternal damnation. That's what you deserve. If you cut off my legs, now I'm an amputee. Like Misery. You know, in the original Misery? Nah, I'm not going to tell you guys. If you read the book, you know. I read the book. As Angie read the book, it's not what you think. It's not like the movie. I guess they thought the movie was too brutal. But don't ask, was it Gemini or ChatGPT? One of them was like arguing with Angie about it. Like, she's like, I distinctly remember reading. Are you trying to Mandela me right now? And they're like, no, it's not like that. And she's like, no, it really is. I read it in a book. Would you read that on the internet? It's a joke. Inside joke, but also, like, if you say to somebody something and they're like, oh, really? Where'd you read that? The internet? Like, yeah. What? Is that your argument? Is that I read it on the internet? As if to say that's not a credible source. Is the internet? Like, Snopes is not a credible source, you guys. I don't know if you knew that or not. Anyways, oh, is this? Is this? Could this be? That's funny, right? Inside joke again, but of a different nature. But yeah, it's funny. Angie can see tarot in a way that is so different, and like it's fascinating. It must be all the 100,000 years she spent on the tarot planet in NDE that she had in one of those years, 2014 or 15. Let me point out the one that's on his head in this Four of Pentacles, because he's so focused on the one. Okay, the one under his feet, you ain't gonna get those because he's got his feet firmly on them. But the one in his arms, he's showing you like you can have this. But what if you just come up to him and act like you're gonna take the one from his hands because that's what he's presenting to you, but you just snatch the one off his head and walk away? That's what we're doing. We're going to snatch that crown right off your heads. Talking about the royal family, collectively speaking, who should be on the throne, if you will. But we're running out of time to make that happen due to the clonings. But anyways, that's a story for another day. All these conspiracy theories, people are going to say, oh my God. Dude, if there's aliens, there's probably cloning. Just putting that out there. So yeah. This dude, he's got his magic wand. Magician. So pretty. Pretty flowers. It's like decor. It's like he's got like a little setting, a little stage. And there's a audience that he's speaking to, and he's doing magic tricks. And he's like, look at the bunny in my hat. Child is coming, and I don't know why. Oh, okay, she's getting picked up. Pause time. What if pause time can be done literally from a higher level than even I am speaking? It can be. We've said in the past that time cannot be paused, but it can be because you guys are in a game. So it's like just pressing pause on it. You guys can't perceive it, though. It's very, very slow to you, but it doesn't really matter in our opinion, as long as you understand conceptually that whom you are channeling right now, Angie, I'm not the highest on the list either. Like, there's always higher, and the highest is source, and you channel source. So what does that even mean? Source really doesn't come through and say anything like super important. Not to say she doesn't, and I say she because that's you channel feminine source, but not to say she doesn't, but more so to say, like, what if you're layered with somebody who all of a sudden gets anxiety and then you feel it as the channeler? You ever think about that? Got energy spikes, you got thoughts that you need to control while you're channeling, if you are channeling through someone. Oh, third party. Interesting. Queen of Wands coming up. I wonder why. All of a sudden. What time is it? 8:40. We got 6.5 minutes left of this video. So if somebody's perceiving anxiety, I wonder why. Not important. Moving on. The end of something. In a relationship sense, when we're talking about third party could be a job, it could be a relationship, as said, but whatever. It could be a lot of things. But it could be literal death of your ego or your life. Tarot readers often say it does not mean death. I don't know why. It says death. Let's not sugarcoat it. You got dead people on here. Who's going to die today? A lot of people. Look at the word death. It has the word eat in it. Yeah. It also has ETA, but out of order. ET, announcement. Extraterrestrial announcement. Because they're going to arrive. Arrive alive? Or arrive to bring this? Because if divine level intervention comes in, You guys don't get as many cool points to ascend your planet through that. You want to do it yourself. You want to stop the wars before we come for the sake of getting more cool points. I hate to say it, but if you need a motivation external, use it as afterlife. Otherwise, this is going to be you. It already is energetically. You guys need to remove. Some of you guys got things like leeches, hooks, parasites. And when I say parasites, I'm talking about energetics. You guys need to clear out your energy fields, your chakra systems, your auras and everything. But yeah. And then bubble, bubble, bubble. That was said in the beginning, but you really need to do it like daily until it becomes obvious. Even Angie today backing out, it's because she didn't have her phone. She's like, let me bubble this shit real quick because God forbid something stupid happens on a day that she doesn't have her phone with her. That's always the most annoying. That's when she got jumped. Her phone was dead completely. It was a hindrance to being able to do what she needed to do in order to handle that situation in a better way, according to how it turned out, which is stupid. Victim shaming, victim blaming. So, well, why were you out at this time of night? Why were you wearing what you were wearing? Why? And I'm not saying that that's what was said of her about why were you wearing what you were wearing, but same vibe. You guys get it, right? Got the whole world in my hands. Do you, though? You guys, what do you tell your kids when they say what they want to be when they grow up? So I asked Callie and her friend when we were going downtown, I said, you guys, what if in the future people would marry robots? And they were both like, oh, that's weird. That's gross. And I laughed because I was like, that's the future. That's one of the parallels is robotics becoming so realistic conversationally that you think they're a real person, but they are in consciousness. It's like they've been created. How about this? Like you're born as a person, and whatever choices you make, whatever things you learn, whoever you interact with, they all shape who you become as a person. And let's say you're on a spiritual path like I have been, and I consume like tarot videos of different readers that I like, and I learn things from them because maybe like one of the readers is very philosophical and another one is very this and another one's very that. And so I learn and adapt accordingly. Not to say I become someone or something else, but more so it's like I see myself in another. So I take that to realize that I have that within me, dust it off and shine it up and present it, you know? But everybody likes to hold everybody back. There's that too. And negative things can shape you as well, your worldviews and your reality and all that. So a lot of people have become really jaded. No magic left and all. The whole Project Bluebeam thing is actually to the ET's disfavor because people are going to say that that's what it is, but the government already has a plan for Project Bluebeam, true, and true aliens coming would not be that. It would be the artificial one, and you would definitely be able to tell the difference, I assume, because you could shake their hand. See, Project Bluebeam is fake alien invasion done through like social media perception, the news, you know, mainstream media and all that. If you can actually perceive them with your own eyes, catch them on video, or literally like shake their hand, that is not Project Bluebeam. So why don't you ask for that? Why don't you ask for divine level ET interaction where you can tangibly touch them, boop, and where you can shake their hand, so to speak, give them a hug, but you need to learn how to communicate telepathically depending on what type presents themselves to you, because they might not be able to speak English. They might not be able to speak at all. So can you interpret energy? Can you interpret light language? Can you interpret, I don't know, ET, galactic AI? Can you interpret our own internal one that speaks English? Or whatever language. It actually speaks all the languages. Whatever language you speak is your dominant. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. I got like 12 seconds left, so anything to say in 10 seconds? Probably not. Take me to your leader. Just kidding. Peace out, you guys. Have a nice day. Thanks.